She was in your closet?
Can we Google this guy?
You can Google.
We're out here on this island. One of the best guys that I know right here. But listen, hey, oh, well, you had the tool.
It was a very tough one. He just wanted to get away and feel normal and needed a break.
Yo! So we're gonna start talking a little bit about the creative for SNL, and you had some really good ideas.
She was in your closet?
I found her in my closet. What's with your security?
I don't know, I gotta beef it up.
I know.
What's with your security? How'd they get in your closet?
She must have snuck by.
Yeah, I bet you have some tight security. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah,
I'm doing
no, I know
well.
that, but how are you handling all this? Because it is really, I mean, the footage that you see of these people.
And he sounds even better than he looks.
He does.
Can we Google this guy?
You can Google Justin. Patty, tell us a bit about what's happening now in Justin's life. This is hot off the presses.
Yeah, actually, Justin is not just healthy like I prayed, but like I said, he's really talented. He's been putting up videos on YouTube, and he is now the #1 most subscribed to musician in Canada on YouTube.
On YouTube.
And number 20th in the world musician in Canada.
And we heard him sing.
We met him here.
Yeah,
He sang.
I was doing Molly, you know, shrooms, everything, and it was just an escape for me. I was just young, you know, like everybody in the industry and people in the world who experiment and do, you know, just normal growing up things. But my experience was in front of cameras, and I had a different level of exposure and people, and like I had a lot of money and a lot of things. So then you have all these people around me just kind of hanging on, wanting stuff from me, knowing that like I was living this lifestyle that they also wanted to live, drinking, smoking.
I think when you take somebody very, very young and they start to get horrible, crazy, crippling anxiety and it goes undiagnosed and you don't know what it is that you're feeling, you start to self-medicate because it makes you feel better. Just help you not to feel anything.
With all the success that we've had, we've also had some really turbulent times. When he turned 18, it started bubbling a little bit. 19 to, what was it, 21? That was probably that dark period.
We didn't speak a lot during some of the times where he was running amok. You know, there were a few times where I saw him and it just kind of hurt my heart, seeing him the way he was, you know? So I think I just kind of put a little distance with that for my own sake. It would just go without saying that my position on maybe the path he was going down, but at the same time, just letting him live his life and learn and, I don't know, just do his thing.
I know that Justin knows a good person from a, I don't even know if anyone was a bad person. It was just kids mostly, but like knows good from bad and knows right from wrong, and he's making some wrong decisions, but I never really believed that that person that the whole world hated so much was who he is.
Last week, the singer was arrested in Miami for allegedly drag racing, driving under the influence, and resisting arrest, all misdemeanors. Bieber's attorneys pleaded not guilty on Wednesday.
I started valuing the wrong things in this business because there was things dangling in front of me. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy.
He's gone through a lot in a very short life. You don't always agree with someone's decisions in that moment. There are young people making very big decisions that affect a lot of people.
A massive tour to promote his 4th album, Purpose.
The 5th biggest tour of 2016, and it crossed the $200 million mark.
You finished this tour and you've been on for like a year, something like that.
Over 100 shows.
Crazy. You're not done. You're starting a stadium tour.
Justin Bieber says he is cancelling the rest of his world tour.
Justin Bieber announced that the remaining dates of his Purpose World Tour would be canceled. All we know is that he's going through a lot. That's it.
People think he's having issues, seems to be falling in another dark place.
The reasoning given by his team in a statement cites unforeseen circumstances.
I mean, I hope he's okay.
All right, here we go. I'm Justin. I am from Stratford, Ontario, Canada. I am an artist. I make music. I started making music when I was really young. It helped me escape from a lot of the things that I felt like I was going through at the time, or that I was going through at the time. And I'm excited to share my journey with you. So come and check it out. Can I do that again? Yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit in my head about it. We are going to Stratford to see my hometown because it's awesome, and I haven't showed anybody since the Never Say Never movie, my first favorite documentary.
Oh wow, are you gonna sing out some steps?
Yeah, we're making a new documentary right now. And
Justin Haley takes Stratford.
We're going back to Stratford, and hopefully there's someone there playing the violin so I can go and drop her some cash.
No, always follow you. Yeah, but I mean, I'm having fun, teenage boy, just like on the road, having fun.
Yeah. Well, no, this is a good time to in your life. I mean, to be a teenager and have this kind of frenzy going on. But how? I was asking you this in rehearsal. But how do you manage to actually still live a life? Are you able to do things when you go? Because you're going all. What's your favorite place?
Justin Timberlake and Usher were actually fighting over who could sign him, and
Really?
so we just signed with the music label, and we're moving in about a week to the US. So it's a big step, and he's got a long journey and great plans.
Congratulations, Justin and Patty, and keep this little family in your prayers as they now take this next step in the journey. If you want to hear Justin sing, just go onto YouTube and type in
Justin singing.
Justin singing, and you'll get to hear him. But keep praying for him as.
So then I just kind of circle back around, which most people do.
So I first met Justin in September 2014. He was a wreck. He had recently stopped using drugs. He was anxious, overwhelmed, not sleeping.
You gotta check everything. You can't just go for a couple months and be like, I feel kind of better, so you have to get all the way, so you keep up with it.
They gave you medication?
Feeling better. Antidepressant is helping me get out of bed. Mental health is so important to get on top of. If you have ADHD, if you have something that you don't want to take medicine, I strongly believe in it. It's not the only answer, but it can really help you. So that's my advice to you. Anyways, this is a chamber. So what it does is it fills up with oxygen, and I've been struggling with a lot of anxiety. And what it does is it actually, you get more oxygen to your brain, and so it decreases your stress levels. I think they're pretty cool.
It helps bring more oxygen to your brain, to your organs. We have one in our house. As you can see in the doc, there was one in the studio. People are gonna think he's a crazy person. People are gonna be like, what is this contraption machine? That's some rich people shit. I don't know.
I'm pulling up in a Range Rover. Would have never thought of that in a million years. What up, man? How are you?
He has gone through so much in the last 3 years, 4 years since his last album came out, and he came out on the other side of some really dark times. He still is who he is, and that's why people are drawn to him, because he has a story to tell.
You bought this, man? This is so shitty down here. I can't believe they did all these parties on the wall.
You know, early on in his career, we'd always say, let's go for another one, let's go for another one, another hit, another record, another thing, another tour. Before Purpose, with Journals, I didn't want him to tour, I wanted him to get healthy. And then he got healthy and we went on Purpose. And then at the end, he was tired and said, look, I needed a break again. And we took the break and he's taken a very long break. And in that time, he's found his wife, he's grown a lot. I don't put any pressure on that timeline anymore. He's earned the right to do it in his own time.
I used to tell my friends, because I was like ashamed that I lived in like such low audience standards. I used to tell people, yeah, there's a bowling alley downstairs and stuff. It's booked up right now, but that's it. That's it.
Anything different? The floors?
Yeah. I felt like it was bigger. I don't think we ever showed this in Never Say Never, but it was the first apartment building where I lived here for like 10 years. Brings back a lot of memories.
I remember the day where he said he didn't want to keep going, and it was a very tough one. He just wanted to get away and feel normal and needed a break from it all.
I freaked out when Justin canceled the tour. Performing is the thing that he loves most in this world, and so for him to say that he didn't want to do it, I knew it had to be pretty serious.
Having a constant stimulation like that and experiencing 50,000 people chanting and just anywhere you go having all this attention brought up, you know, your brain actually gets worn out from that, where standard levels of dopamine just don't get you excited anymore.
They have so much fun, but it's also very isolating. And until you wake up in a city and you don't remember where you are, you can't really understand how hard it is.
I think that being human is challenging for everybody. I think that we're all struggling to some degree.
We both really enjoyed our wedding. We had a lot of fun. I always think if we were to have done our wedding in the place we're in now as opposed to then or even the year before that, what would have been different? And I just think that both of us continue to just become healthier people from that moment forward.
Quarantine forced you and I to address some things head on.
The more time you spend with somebody, the more you learn about each other, and quarantine especially, all you have is time with each other.
It's so hard to show your weakness, but acknowledging your weakness allows you to grow. Here, get a seat.
I have to hop on a meeting.
Oh, okay. All right. You want bacon? Yes. Bacon?
Thanks, baby.
We continue to just show one another that, you know, you're my priority. You continue to remind me I'm your priority. And I think time, like you continue to say, shows that. It allows us to continue to see each other's heart, you know, and see, okay, this person has my best interest. And we're building a life, and we have something to look forward to, and it's growth, and it's hope, and it's all the things that I think we all crave as individuals.
Irritability, depression, anxiety. Justin fits the picture of these symptoms.
Epstein-Barr, which is mono, have that too.
That in itself, mono, makes you really sick, and it makes you feel really tired, and some people can't get out of bed because of it.
He saw a psychiatrist in Los Angeles who diagnosed him with bipolar disorder and gave him lithium without ever looking at his brain. When I looked at his brain, he wasn't bipolar.
Basically, infections have played a big part in my acne and my overall toxins in my body, which just creates all this stuff. So it feels good now to know why I feel so crappy all the time.
He just felt so sick, and there was no explanation for what was going on. So now that we have all of the answers and we know what it is and we know how to alleviate it and fix it, and you know, I think he's honestly not only healthier than he's ever been, but on the road to maintaining a healthier life than he's ever had, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Are you feeling today better?
I do. I feel
better?
Yeah, I feel a lot better. Thank you for asking.
Having got to know Justin, I know he's got a really good heart, and when he's balanced, he does really amazing things for other people. But it's hard to do amazing things for other people when your brain's not right.
Honestly, I'm committed to getting better and committed to doing whatever I have to do, whether it's inconvenient or not, because I know ultimately it's not only for me, but being the best me is gonna help be the best husband, the best father, the best friend I can possibly be. And for all the fans that wanna enjoy the music that I make and stuff, I can't do it if I'm not healthy, and I haven't been healthy for a long time. Yes, thank you so much. You've helped me so much. Hey. Hey. Hey! See how that revitalizes you?
Yep.
Hey, let's go!
There's so much. It kind of seemed like a turning point for him to where he was like, I think I'm ready to do this again. I think I need to do this again.
And by the way, album coming soon.
As we was walking off stage, he said that to Alice. He's like, I need to get back out here.
I want you to schedule me. He's like, I want to go to the studio and I want to dance and I want to go to the gym and I want vocal warm-ups in there and I want, like, he wanted me to build him a rolling itinerary like I do when he's working. And the second that he asked to actually put the time in, I was like, oh, okay, now we're ready to go back to work.
My life is changing a lot. Getting married, getting back in the studio, talking about getting married, like just writing about the process and just being creative with being in this new chapter and being happy about what I'm doing and not like, I don't know, just being in a good headspace, better headspace. See you when you touch down. I think what's been challenging over the years is a lot of the times I'd make music and it would be for me. When the focus and the goal is about yourself, you kind of tend to lose your purpose in that. I think the older that I get, the more I realize that I'm not utilizing my gift, I feel, for the right reasons. This isn't about me. It's about helping someone who's going through whatever they're going through and being able to talk about that thing. I think that's a really cool way to look at what I do. And I fly out. To the East Coast, I gotta keep the lights on. You know it, hate you got me strong out. Bothered me, and then it affected how I acted and how I treated people, and it's just this ongoing like cycle of like hurt people.
Yeah. Like I'm watching it, and like there's a moment of sadness for like how quickly it all happened.
Yeah, I mean, like it brings you back. I mean, does it for you?
You are this like star that is supposed to have it all together, and you don't realize the power of just saying, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I just kind of let the insecurities of everything going on dictate how I kind of started to move.
We're looking at it and I was like, wow, that sucks. I'm sorry you went through that, for real. So he was in the booth the other day for the acoustic, and he couldn't get the words out. And he broke down and cried. And our conversation before that was like, have you actually spoken about what this song actually means to you? And you hadn't.
Man, I think that there was times where I was really, really suicidal. Like really like, man, is this pain ever gonna go away? It was so consistent. The pain was so consistent. I was just suffering, right? So I'm just like, man, I would rather not feel this than feel this. I really do believe that God works all things together for good, and I think sometimes it's hard to see that when things are so messy, and I think that that allows me to have this overwhelming confidence.
If I could do it all over again, I would have had you in therapy day one, having someone separate from all of us to talk to and express and everything. I was 25.
There was so much that happened that like we didn't take the time to explain, but it's because I didn't even think to explain it to you.
And then I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, there's so many tragedies that could have been avoided. But then by the end, I'm like, there he is though. And I know that person, I know you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is a celebration.
I just would encourage people like, hey, if you're feeling lonely, talk about it. Say it out loud. There's a freedom in that. I could have avoided a lot of pain.
All right, let's see.
It's amazing that you brought us back to where for me it all started with Justin, to Atlanta, Georgia, a kid with a floppy hair that no one really knows what to expect. And now I can say he is the biggest entertainer alive right now. And he is surrounded by good, beautiful people.
And so she's trying to get pictures when I'm getting in the car, trying to get in front of me, and like I'm trying to squeeze around her to get in the car, and she's like, stop, 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 stop.
And her daughter didn't even go to that school. And now your hair has become like the thing. Look at it, look, it's the one flip and it all perfectly in place.
It all comes together.
It really does. How long do you spend on that hair?
Like 5 minutes.
Some days we want to push further, and some days we feel like doing nothing. And that often comes with our mood and our attitude towards life, you know, and sometimes when life throws you things that you can't control, you know, naturally your attitude is to be upset or to be disappointed or discouraged. But, you know, when you fight through those feelings that are just feelings at the end of the day, and we choose to put your effort into your work or into your, you know, into your passion or into, you know, you find that drive. But just being here, forcing myself to get out of bed. You know, it might not seem that hard to some people to just get out of bed in the morning, but it's been really hard for me to just get out of my bed. And I know a lot of people feel that same way. So I just also want to say that you're not alone in that. You know, there's people that are going through it with you. Life is worth living. And if you're not going to give up, then the only thing to do is to push forward. That's it.
Oh, you good to see you, bro. Yeah, good to see you too. I like your jacket. Thanks, man.
I love to see him do what he is so good at.
That's the thing with the game.
There's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of things on artists and musicians specifically that I think people don't get to see because they're not around for the full process.
So what we got up right now?
So me being somebody who isn't a musician and, you know, is not involved in music in that way, watching it, I have a whole newfound respect for Justin as well as other artists who just put their blood, sweat, and tears into their craft.
When you're doing what you are good at, like you just feel like you're where you're supposed to be. I'm the best in the studio or like on stage than I am anywhere else.
All right, this is how we do it.
That should be me, making you laugh. That should be me, this is so sad. That should be me, that should be me. That should be me, feeling your kiss. That should be me, buying you gifts. This is so wrong, I can't go on till you believe that that should be me.
How did you deal with kind of this immense pressure from such a young age?
Well, I'd just say that I didn't handle it very well for a while. I think I let the, you know, insecurities and the fears of kind of win in a sense of like, I felt like everyone wanted to have control over my life. I felt like there was so many people who wanted me to be, so I rebelled against that, and I wanted to go the complete opposite way.
How did you deal with like kind of the opinions and the differences in creative choices?
There's gonna be people who come around who just want to take. And if you're looking at the people who are just taking, you know, and you don't want to listen to their opinion. You got to listen to the people who are feeding into your life and giving you, you know, and I just, you know, I would just encourage you to listen to those people, and because you have so much ahead of you, bro. Like, I'm so excited to watch your journey. I'm so excited to watch you blossom into this incredible artist.
That should be me. You said you needed a little time for my mistakes. It's funny how you use that time to have me replay. Do you think that I wouldn't see you out at the movies? What you doing to me? You're taking them where we used to go. Now if you're trying to break my heart, it's working, cause you know that should be me, feeling your kiss. That should be me, making you laugh. That should be me, this is so sad. That should be me, that should be me, that should be me, in your kiss. That should be me, buying you gifts. This is so wrong, I can't go on till you believe that that should be me.
That was beautiful, man. Thank you. Good job. You too.
At 26, you are really in a position where you can give a ton of powerful advice. Why are you choosing to go and do things like that?
It becomes an actual honor and a privilege to help people. There's such a fulfillment there.
Oh God, running to the altar like a track star.
I want to show the good stuff. I want to show the bad stuff. And right now happens to be a really arrived. I don't feel like I'm finally there. I just feel like I want this to last. I want this to, you know, I don't know what's gonna come next.
Oh God.
If I can use this gift to help people, that's just what I want to do. Even the story of Jesus, he came to serve. He gave us a template of what true fulfillment looks like. And I'm really excited to share this with